One of the greatest running backs all time on one of the all-time teams set to join us here in CBS Sports HQ. Franco Harris, part of that Steelers dynasty in the 70s, back when running the football was a much more integral part of the game. And the postseason rushing yards, he is among the elite, only behind fellow Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith with most postseason rush yards in NFL history, 1,556. And joining us now on CBS Sports HQ is Hall of Fame running back Franco Harris. Franco, certainly appreciate you taking some time. I'm in Tampa talking about the Super Bowl between the Bucs and the Chiefs. What are your thoughts on Super Bowl 55?
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be a great game, and you know, you're talking about two great quarterbacks. It's amazing what Tom Brady is doing at his age, and wow, it's you just shake your head at how he's still performing, and then you look at Mahomes, and you think about, wow, unbelievable, great young quarterback. So to me, this is one of the most exciting Super Bowls to come along, and wish I could be there, but I'm stuck here in Pittsburgh right now. But I'm starting to really feel the excitement of this game.
And you mentioned the excitement surrounding this game with the two quarterbacks, and we're having conversations of Brady and Mahomes potentially as the greatest quarterback matchup in a Super Bowl, but the conversation also has to talk about maybe Terry Bradshaw and Roger Staubach, something you know very well a couple of times in your heyday. How does that compare, and what do you remember about those two Super Bowls with Hall of Fame quarterbacks?
Oh, you know what? You have to be on the edge of your seat every moment with quarterbacks at that caliber. I mean, things can change in one play. Those are quarterbacks that can make big plays and change the course of a game. And we're looking at that now. When you see how Brady and Mahomes, how they can control the ball and take their team downfield with their passing, it's just incredible. Now, when I look back to when we played, passing wasn't as wasn't at the scale that it is today. But when they did have some passes, they were big plays, big bombs that changed the course of the game.
When you are part of the Steelers dynasty and people ask you about the Immaculate Reception, how often, Franco, do you still get asked about that catch?
Every day. And I tell you what, when I think back about that catch in 1972, 72 was a special year. And we went on to win the division for the first time in Steelers history. And also, it was the second playoff game the Steelers were ever in, and the first one that they ever won. And that Immaculate Reception pass was the first playoff touchdown ever for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the first touchdown pass ever in a playoff game for Terry Bradshaw. So that play is very dear to Steeler Nation because it has so much meaning.
You're a part of 4 Super Bowl titles. Ben Roethlisberger's got a couple. There were thoughts, Franco, at least halfway through this season, that the Steelers were going to maybe get to this point and play for another Lombardi. That obviously fell short. What do you see the Pittsburgh Steelers needing to do to get back to a point where they're competing for a Super Bowl and maybe winning one down the road?
Well, you know what? That was a little disappointing. Starting off 11-0, that was, yeah, excitement. We're all tucked away in our homes, but yet you had the excitement of the Steelers 11-0, and things are looking good. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like we hit this period of time where we had to play 3 games, I think, in around 12 days or something like that. And like, to me, that really disrupted a lot of things. But I understand with COVID that there had to be some adjustments, but it really put a lot of strain on the Steelers, I feel, and things just didn't click after that. Um, I hear Ben's coming back, which is great. We have some great young receivers that I'm really excited about. But me being a running back, we have to get that running game going. To me, that's the most crucial part of the game, is the running game. So we need to put some focus on that. No, I'm not coming back. No,
I'm glad
I'm retired.
I'm glad you put that to bed, but I'm also glad you brought up the importance of the running back position, because at times I think toward the end, as great as Ben is, throwing it 50-plus times isn't always the recipe for success. And James Conner's health obviously was a big deal as well. In terms of the running backs, you're the class of 1990 at a time when the running back position was a premier spot. When you look at the game now, is there a running back or two you appreciate watching, and do you think we might get a Hall of Fame candidate down the road, given what we're seeing a lot of running back by committee, Franco, right now in the league?
Well, I think Tennessee has a great balance there. That they have done well. So that's pretty impressive. I have to say, when Cleveland beat us in that playoff game, which I wasn't very happy and excited about. I think their running game made a difference. Chubb's made a difference in that one. So to me, running backs can make a difference. And I'm a big believer in the running game, because I feel that the running game affects the time of possession and also wears down the defense. So this is something, to me, that the Steelers really needs to focus on.
All right, how about the game between the Bucs and the Chiefs? Do you have a favorite here? Who do you like in the game, Franco?
Oh, you know what? Both these teams are great, but I'm going for the AFC team. Kansas City and Mahomes, and and we know Andy Reid. He's always creative and doing a lot of things. So I'm going for the AFC team, Kansas City, all the way.
All right, so you're back in the conference, and it would be back-to-back for Kansas City. That could kickstart the dynasty conversation, but we'll save that for another day. And in fact, that happens on Sunday. All right, before I let you go, what are you doing with the NFL Players Alumni Association and the partnership you've got there?
Well, we have a big focus on obesity, and it's something that needs to be talked about and given more focus. That as we get older, that a lot of times we tend to put on more weight, and that's the worst thing that you can do. And like, especially if you're a active person and you've been an athlete all your life, and you go into retirement, and if you have some challenges in different ways, health things or other factors, you just tend to sit back and do nothing and eat more. And as we know, obesity causes many health issues. And so we're just trying to put the focus on obesity and for health later on in life, and to talk about, your health regimen that you do as far as your eating habits and as far as the things that you do, say like walking or lifting lightly. But the most important thing is to stay active and to really focus on your diet and healthy eating habits. And so we're really trying to focus on that with a lot of ex-athletes. But as we know, it's for the population as a whole. Our eating habits and our activity affects our quality of life. And so, as I mentioned, we want to give focus to that, and like also to help in the fight against the stigma of obesity, where how people feel about themselves, how other people make them feel, that to realize it's a condition that we can work on and that we can correct. But once again, as in sports, it takes some mental toughness and it takes some discipline and focus.
I think that's well said. Franco, certainly appreciated the Hall of Famer joining us here on CBS Sports HQ. Franco Harris, by the way, stay safe, be well, enjoy the game on CBS Sports and Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, and maybe we'll see you back here next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. Can't wait. Here we go.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.